Let's talk about the economy. That's the power of your money. That's how things get bought and sold and exchanged, and merchandise and services get exploited or actively circulated. Today, we see more and more of a trend of the oil war affecting things. And the oil wars that have been going on, if you don't understand, you look at all these proxy wars that are happening in different places of the world, it's because they're oil-rich regions. And who's fighting over it? Well, they're the nations that are put into position to do this battling by the transnational companies. Multinationals is just corporations that are running the oil industry. So the petrodollar is going through this upheaval and instability. The report was that the last year was the first time that the oil industry was having so much trouble that they couldn't make profit, and this coming year, as they accrue all of their books, their accounts, they're going to see much more of a major loss. They're not profitable anymore. So what does this mean that the report is going out? What is the scenario that's being put forth? It's the fact that the petrodollar is having difficulty, but yet at the same time you see that the power of the dollar is actually gaining value. So how does that work? If the oil barrel price goes down and buying your gasoline in America and other Western bloc countries continues to get more economical, you can spend more on gas and use more gas and burn it up and all this and that. It's because of the power of the dollar that is attached to the petrol. And as all these things are going on, you have to understand that they're working interdependently, but when you see one of them having trouble and something is done artificially to prop it up, it makes a relationship with the other things, like I'm saying, between the dollar and the petroleum, the industry and the stocks. And you have to understand it as people that are running nations that do not want to be under the control of the petrodollar, such as Russia and also probably China. And they're doing a lot of things to get out from underneath that thumb. They want to be independent. They are doing everything that they can. And right now the Saudis are threatening the Iranians. The Iranians are the allies of the Russians. I mean, this is like a no-brainer right there why that's going on. And the Saudis are in bed very closely for a long time with the Americans as well as the British. So the British, of course, hate the Iranians because they lost the Iranian oil industry to the nationalistic interests under the Ayatollahs, and they've never really forgiven them or given that up. So all this is going on, and Russia is doing what it can, and that's why it's also not only propping up Iran, they're back in Syria. That's why Syria can't fall. They were too far away and too late to rescue Libya. Libya had to go, and that was so Africa could stay in the chaos that it's in and can't rise up from these controllers of the oil industry. Now, what side am I on? I'm not saying. I'm just reporting what the facts are. You need to know. These are just the basics. I'm not going that much into depth, but just get the basics so that you know the global crisis is on.